more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, Top Billin, hear me out right here. This is for real football heads. This is for people who can think on their feet. Does someone like Jake Bobo make DK Metcalf expendable? Dennis Rodman Jr. himself, one of the more brighter talents in the league, right? One of these guys you just can't teach the type of freak athlete that he is. He's going to be a guy who can definitely get you 1,200 yards a year at the very least, no doubt about that. But does it come at the detriment of the team? Let that sink in right there. As good as a player as DK Metcalf is, does it come at the detriment of your team? I've said it before 15,000 times. Terrell Owens, T.O., was able to be on 5 teams because he was a bit of a malcontent. I saw where DK Metcalf said that he doesn't want to change who he is, right? But if being who you are is a detriment to the team, is it worth it? Especially when you have a guy like Jake Bobo, right, waiting and languishing on the bench pretty much, right? You saw what DK Metcalf missed in his first game, Jake Bobo being able to get a little bit more shine. That guy can play. He's a big man who has little man feet, right? Pause. Gotta pause that right there. Some of you guys a little bit, you know what I mean? He's a big guy who has little man feet. His ability to separate and all this. As a matter of fact, check this out right here. All right, we see this man going against Marco Wilson right here. Look at him slow play this, right? Look at him vary the rhythm on this fade pass. Tell me this doesn't match well with what Geno does. Oh! He seared Marco Wilson's ankles. Completely seared him, right? And it was a reverse searing, right? He slow played it off the line, right? Kind of, you know, man, let him hang out there. Put a little heat on him right there until it's time to really sear, and then stick that foot in the ground. Bang! Look at that right there. Marco Wilson reaching for air, space, and opportunity. Nothing there right there. And look at the separation. Oh, that's nasty. On a fade route right here. From way downtown, bang, over the shoulder, Ken Griffey style catch. Let's see it from this direction. Eat at Geno's on the pull. Your boy Geno Smith holding the safety. He trusted and Jakob. Come on, y'all saw that separation? It's really pronounced right here. Look at this when it comes into the frame. Bang. Early pandemic separation. Your boy Dr. Fauci would undoubtedly be fine with that. Right? That's easily 6 feet of separation right there. He says it's good, so it's good. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Jakob, man, a big guy with little man feet like that who's able to get off the line of scrimmage, and we know he can get it in the even exchange situations working in the air. Come on, man. That's what this offense calls for. Somebody who's going to be timely. Think about that. This guy in the quick game is going to be timely. You're going to hit your markers, and he's going to be open, straight up. He's a better route runner than DK Metcalf. He is. Jackson Smith-Njigba, fellow rookie there. You know him, right? Real saucy with the route running there. He has the oily hips and everything. He can get in and out of his breaks real smooth. Tyler Lockett, #1 receiver material, multi-time 1,000-yard receiver. That's your guy right there. Those three represent to me more of a West Coast offense type trio at the wide receiver position, even over at DK Metcalf. Metcalf reminds me of one of these big ass digital vertical offenses from back in the day where he could just go up and get it. He doesn't have to necessarily hit certain marks and all this there. No, he's improving in his route running ability and his hands and all that as well. Like I said before, he's a top 7 to 10 wide receiver in my book. He can play. But it should not come at the detriment of your team and somebody saying they're not going to change who they are. Somebody who people get on the quarterback, right? They don't like the quarterback to begin with. Then they get on him, but they won't point out how, damn, he's having to dig your team up out of the hole because you got a wide receiver who can't handle himself out there and is constantly getting penalties for whatever reason, stopping on routes and shit like that, right? There's a time he stopped on a route, they threw an interception, and people were still blaming Geno. The fuck out of here. What type of sense does that make, man? Like, come on. That type of shit right there should not fly at a place like Seattle where they have that type of talent right there. Matter of fact, look at some more from Bobo right here. All right, you get him right here on this sluggo, right? Slant and go. I want you to notice this, right? the cornerback would have been extremely smoked on this one right here hadn't he bagged the way off prior to the snap. So my man has to run this, which is a much better route to run pretty much when you're on, you got close quarters coverage or something like that, being able to push and then push out the widen and then push up the field. But on this one, he did it with the guy bagged off, and it still worked out to perfection. Look, my man bagged off there. Look at the flavor, which was he's running a route. And then, oh my God. The entire thing right there. Run that shit again. Look at this. You see how he slow plays it into his transition? His transitions are nasty. And then he got both feet in. Like, come on. This is in an NFL game, right? So there's no like excuses, right? People were talking about the preseason and shit. He's doing this in an NFL game now. Look at this. Look at him vary the rhythm. Stick that foot in the ground. Really sell the in breaking portion of the route. I believe the cornerback was just going to concede this, right? And just try to tackle him there. That's why he doesn't even really go for it that much. He went for it just enough to get it into a 50-50 exchange situation. And Geno clearly feels good enough for putting the ball up for him, right? Geno Smith threw an interception, and I saw where he said his hand got hit, right? Or his arm got hit before he threw it. But he was going to put the ball up for a 50-50 situation with Jake Bobo. He doesn't necessarily do that with DK Metcalf, right? It seems like he's apprehensive to do it with Metcalf because I don't believe or at least I believe that I don't think, or I won't say this. I believe he thinks DK Metcalf won't come down with the catch, and it might be an interception, right? Geno doesn't want to throw the interceptions, right? People acting like he throws like 50 interceptions. The dude has like 12, 13 interceptions since he's been a starter. There's guys out here that people, unless we'll get on that another time, man. Go make me go off on a tangent on you clowns there, but Jake Bobo, man, come on. You can't tell me that type of skill set needs to be sitting on the bench, right? And you can't justify playing him over DK Metcalf there. DK Metcalf would not have to be in the way, or we have to not be in the way. All right, back at it again. Your boy Bobo right here. Look at this. High into the outside. Look at the natural hands kicker. Right. We had to zoom this in a little bit more, something like that. But you can see right here on this stop route, Geno Smith puts it high into the outside. But look at him go up, and look at the frame. 6'4", natural hands plucker. Your man's able to go and get it up out the sky right there. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. We showed you the finesse right here. Now look at this. Look at the power and the grit. Look at this slant route here. First encounter, no. Look at that rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, like Chris Berman would say. What are we doing? This man's dragging people here, right? We can see him in breaking route. Look at the first contact right there. Makes him miss. All right, he's great after the catch, great during the catch, great before the catch. Like, what are we doing here? Look at that. That was a face mask. Look at it. Spin off two people right there and then continuing to work upfield. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What more do you want out of a receiver? 6'4" with little feet like that, man. Yak type guy, 50-50 exchange guy, great route runner. And obviously you can move him all around. He has an outside receiver skill set with inside receiver feet. You see him here. He's going to be pretty much running a corner route there. But come on, man. These tough as truck tires. Look at this. Get to the corner right there. Bang. Go up and get it. Bang. Right? Yeah. Can't make fun of this one right here, right? Because he actually was knocked a little loopy here. Bing. Yeah. He was no doubt about it. Sent to Zombie Town again. That's like his 5th Zombie Town. I don't know what it is about him being sent to Zombie Town, but you know what I'm saying? We're not going to totally make fun of that one right there. So, but listen, the type of compensation that you can get for a 25-year-old DK Metcalf, I would think would be monumental, right? This guy just signed a deal, so I don't know how many years he has left on that deal right there. I have to go and check that, but he'd be on the contract for somebody only 25 years old. Come on. And I saw the injury news about Uchenna Nwosu there. I don't think you have to go out and get anyone because you already had 72 edge players to begin with. I want to see that Levi Bell kid get elevated now, right? So it'll be Boye Mafe as a starter along with Darrell Taylor, and then you have those two rookies rotating in, Derek Carr and Levi Bell. If you want to have 5 players, I'm not sure if anybody from the past is available. Alton Robinson or one of those guys like that who got cut, Tyreek Smith. So that's how I would play it right there. But the type of compensation, or you might be able to get a straight up trade for a player if you wanted another edge player for a DK Metcalf and some draft compensation along with him. Those are just my thoughts there. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. I don't do that type of stuff. These are just my thoughts on what should happen if I was John Schneider, right? If it was Murph Schneider here, I would seriously entertain trading DK Metcalf with a guy like Jake Bobo on the rosters. He's essentially blocking Jake Bobo while saying he won't change who he is and being a detriment to his team. Yes, he's a great player, but there's a guy right behind him who can do probably most of the same things, maybe not as explosive vertically down the field, but he's going to still get you vertical catches. But he's going to continue to destroy people in the quick and mid-range game, and he's got reliable hands. And Geno Smith seems to like him, right, as far as trusting him with the ball there. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Rich people problems for Seattle Seahawks. Once again, John Schneider and Pete Carroll creating rich people problems because they understand how to assemble a roster there. You see it with the defensive backfield because obviously Julian Love does not suck. So if Julian Love does not suck like that one dumbass said he did, that makes everybody still in play there by being able to play Jamal Adams there, being able to keep Jerry Reed off the field, right? And then, of course, you got your guys, Devin Witherspoon, Trey Brown, and these guys, right? One guy who needs to step it up, though, in my opinion, though, is Tariq Woolen. He's not playing good football at all. Poor tackling. He was exposed, right? Jamar Chase should have just stayed on his side because Jamar Chase was going to destroy him. Absolutely. So Tariq Woolen needs to step it up, but we know he's super talented there. But other than that, man, a lot of talent on Seattle there. Rich people problems. But let me know what you think about if DK Metcalf should be traded and Jake Bobo elevated to where you see him on the field along with Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba there, right? I'll go on a limb to say Jake Bobo's as good as Jackson Smith and Jigba. And you know what I think about Smith and Jigba. I was trying to will him to my team. So, and I think Jake Bobo is as good or at least as talented as him. Let that sink in. But it's your boy Jersey Murph as always. Make sure you tipping your waiter because you know I be serving that hibachi and don't give a damn what a hater says. I will continue to express my opinion. Oh, yeah. One last thing on Jake Bobo. 2 things, actually. Stop comparing him to white receivers. That's another thing that does him a disservice right there, right? People will go out of their way to compare him to a white receiver because you people out there don't have any football knowledge, right? He plays football like that, and then a Steve Largent will be a comparison. How is that a comparison? That doesn't even make sense. And then another guy that comes up all the time is Joe Jurevicius, right? I even had some dude was like, well, you just don't know who Joe Jurevicius is. I'm like, what? Right? That's one of my early childhood memories. Obviously, I'm a Penn State fan. Joe Jurevicius is one of my all-time favorite players, period. And one of my all-time favorite players since I was a little kid from my team, Penn State. As a matter of fact, come on, man. I've had this right here for my entire life, right? Pretty much damn near, right? Joe Jurevicius is my man. Jake Bobo and Joe Jurevicius aren't the same. Yes, they're both tall and white. That's where it ends. Or Joe does have good hands. Jake has good hands. But Joe ain't running routes like that. That's different. That's outstanding. That's the shit that Keenan Allen gets away with, right? That having those type of feet at that size. Or those type of feet at that size. Don't quote me on that one. Right? Come on, man. And stop talking about his speed. If people would stop worrying about a time speed that does not matter, then people could see you in a different light. It's like when people attach certain things to you, it brings it down because you get the general public of parrots don't understand what's going on, and they're going to always be talking about the same shit over and over, right? Jonathan Vilma had to mention it. Lame-ass Charles Davis had to mention it. Lame-ass Charles Davis probably mention it again when he works another Seattle game. Stop mentioning that shit. It does not matter. He's on the NFL field busting people's ass, right? Pause, right? That's it.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.